Greetings, Gaming Safe Space community. Welcome back to another epic dive into gaming history. I'm your host, bringing you the ultimate guide to one of the most iconic villains in all of pop culture, Darth Vader. That's right, the Sith Lord himself. From his menacing black armor to that unforgettable breathing sound, Vader has left his mark across movies, comics, and, of course, video games. Today, we're exploring every time Darth Vader has appeared in a video game. We'll cover each game, what it's about, and how the Dark Lord of the Sith fits into the action. Whether he's a playable character, a terrifying boss, or a pixelated cameo, we're covering it all. So, grab your lightsaber, buckle up, and let's dive into the galaxy far, far away. Let's do this. First up, we're going way back to 1983 with Atari's Star Wars arcade game. This classic put you in the cockpit of an X-Wing fighter during the climactic Death Star trench run from A New Hope. It's all about fast-paced shooting, dodging TIE fighters, and blowing up the Death Star. The graphics? Super retro, with vector-based visuals that were mind-blowing for the time. Darth Vader makes a brief but memorable appearance here, piloting his TIE Advanced fighter. You face him in the final stage, weaving through his attacks to line up that perfect shot on the Death Star's exhaust port. He's not playable, but his presence adds serious stakes. Hearing his digitized voice barking threats through the arcade speakers? Pure 80s magic. Next, we jump to 1987 for the Japan-exclusive Star Wars game on the Famicom, Japan's version of the NES. This side-scrolling action game loosely follows A New Hope's plot, but let's just say, it takes some wild creative liberties. You play as Luke Skywalker, battling stormtroopers and creatures across Tatooine and beyond. Darth Vader pops up multiple times as a boss, but here's where it gets weird. When you hit him, he transforms into bizarre creatures, like a scorpion, or even a pterodactyl in an Egyptian tomb. Yes, you heard that right. It's as bonkers as it sounds, and not exactly Vader at his most dignified. Still, facing him in pixelated combat is a nostalgic trip for retro gamers. Moving to 1992, we have Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back for the Nintendo Entertainment System. This action platformer follows the events of the second Star Wars film, with levels inspired by Hoth, Cloud City, and more. You control Luke Skywalker, wielding a blaster and lightsaber to take on enemies. Darth Vader is the final boss in this one, and he's no pushover. He uses the Force to hurl debris at you and zips around the screen, making the fight intense. It's a tough battle for an NES game, and beating him feels like a true Jedi victory, even if the 8-bit graphics are a bit rough around the edges. In 1993, the Super Nintendo got its own Super Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. This run-and-gun platformer cranked up the action with better graphics, killer music, and challenging gameplay. You play as Luke, Han, or Chewbacca, blasting through iconic movie moments. Vader returns as the final boss, and this time, he's even more formidable. He tosses objects with the Force and swings his lightsaber with deadly precision. The SNES's 16-bit visuals give him a menacing look, and the fight captures the epic showdown from the movie. It's tough, but oh so satisfying to take him down. Let's shift gears to 1995's Star Wars Dark Forces, a first-person shooter that put you in the boots of Kyle Katarn, a mercenary working for the Rebel Alliance. This game was a pioneer in the FPS genre, with sprawling levels and a gritty Star Wars vibe. Darth Vader isn't playable or a boss here, but he makes cinematic appearances that steal the show. He's seen giving orders to General Moke, exuding authority with his deep voice and imposing presence. Even in pixelated form, Vader's menace is undeniable, making you glad you don't have to fight him. Now let's talk about 1997's Star Wars Masters of Teräs-Käsi for the PlayStation. This 3D fighting game pitted Star Wars characters against each other in one-on-one battles, like a galactic street fighter. The roster included Luke, Han, and, yes, Darth Vader. Vader is a playable character, wielding his lightsaber and Force powers. His moves are slow but devastating, reflecting his unstoppable nature. Unfortunately, the game's clunky controls and unbalanced gameplay didn't do him justice. It's a cool concept, but Vader deserved better than this infamously rough title. In 2001, Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds brought real-time strategy to the Star Wars universe. Think Age of Empires, but with X-Wings and AT-ATs. You build bases, gather resources, and command armies as factions like the Empire or Rebels. Darth Vader is a playable hero unit for the Empire, leading troops with his lightsaber and Force abilities. He's a powerhouse on the battlefield, cutting through enemies like a hot knife through butter. Controlling him feels epic, though the game's focus on strategy means he's just one part of your galactic conquest. Fast forward to 2005 with LEGO Star Wars, the video game, a family-friendly action-adventure title covering the prequel trilogy. Its blocky, humorous take on Star Wars was a hit, with charming cutscenes and co-op gameplay. Darth Vader is playable in a bonus level inspired by A New Hope. You swing his lightsaber and use Force Choke, all with that LEGO charm. The lighthearted tone makes Vader more comedic than menacing, but it's a blast to play as him in this adorable brick-built galaxy. Also in 2005, Star Wars Battlefront delivered massive multiplayer battles across Star Wars eras. You fought as soldiers, pilots, or heroes in iconic locations like Hoth and Endor. Darth Vader is a playable hero for the Empire in multiplayer modes. His lightsaber combos and force powers make him a terror on the battlefield, mowing down rebels with ease. The game's fast-paced action suits Vader perfectly, letting you live out your Sith Lord fantasies. In 2006, LEGO Star Wars 2, the original trilogy tackled the classic Star Wars films. Like its predecessor, it's a fun, kid-friendly adventure with LEGO-fied versions of Luke, Vader, and more. Vader is playable across several levels, using his lightsaber and force choke to dispatch enemies. The game's humor softens his edge, but controlling him is pure joy. Whether you're force-pushing stormtroopers or reenacting movie moments, Vader shines in this LEGO masterpiece. One of Vader's best gaming moments came in 2008's Star Wars: The Force Unleashed. This action-adventure game follows Starkiller, Vader's secret apprentice, in a story set between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. The game's over-the-top force powers let you hurl enemies and destroy environments. Vader is playable in the prologue, where you slaughter Wookiees on Kashyyyk with brutal efficiency. His lightsaber and force abilities feel godlike, making this a true Sith power fantasy. Later, he's a boss and a key figure in the story, cementing his legendary status. Surprise! In 2008, Darth Vader crossed universes to join Soul Calibur 4, a weapon-based fighting game. Exclusive to the Xbox 360 version, he faced off against samurai, knights, and ninjas. As a playable character, Vader's lightsaber and force powers make him a formidable fighter. His critical finish, an exaggerated force attack, is pure spectacle. It's bizarre seeing him in this non-Star Wars world, but he fits right in with the game's flashy combat. The 2010 sequel, Star Wars: The Force Unleashed continues Starkiller's story with even crazier force powers. The game's shorter length and repetitive levels disappointed some, but Vader's role kept fans hooked. He's the final boss this time, facing Starkiller in an epic showdown. You don't play as Vader, but his presence drives the narrative, and the fight is a highlight. His power and menace make every encounter unforgettable. In 2015, Disney Infinity 3.0 brought Star Wars to its Toys to Life platform. This sandbox game let you play as characters across Star Wars eras, with physical figures unlocking them in-game. Darth Vader is a playable character and a boss in the Twilight of the Republic playset. His lightsaber skills and force powers make him a standout, and the game's colorful style adds a fun twist. It's a great way to wield Vader's might in a family-friendly setting. EA's 2015. Star Wars Battlefront reboot focused on cinematic multiplayer battles. With stunning visuals and authentic Star Wars vibes, it dropped you into massive conflicts as rebels or Imperials. Vader is a playable hero, dominating with his lightsaber, force choke, and heavy strikes. He's slow but nearly unstoppable, turning the tide of battle. Playing as him feels like stepping into the movies, especially when you hear that iconic breathing. In 2019, Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order delivered a single-player adventure as Cal Kestis, a Jedi Padawan on the run. This Souls-like game blended exploration, combat, and a gripping story. Darth Vader appears in the climactic finale, not as a traditional boss, but as an unstoppable force. You flee from him, feeling his overwhelming power as he warps the environment. It's a terrifying encounter that nails Vader's mythic status. Yes, Fortnite. In 2022, Epic Games' Battle Royale giant added Darth Vader as part of a Star Wars crossover. Fortnite is all about surviving against 99 other players, building structures, and chasing that victory royale. Vader appears in two ways: as a playable skin, letting you run around with a lightsaber, and as an NPC boss during Star Wars events. As a boss, he's flanked by stormtroopers, deflects bullets, and tosses his lightsaber. The cartoonish style softens his edge, but he's still a blast to fight or play as. Finally, we have 2023's Star Wars Jedi, Survivor, the sequel to Jedi, Fallen Order. This action-adventure expands Cal Kestis's journey with bigger worlds and tougher fights. Vader shows up as a boss battle, facing off against Seri Junda. Unlike Fallen Order, this is a winnable fight, but it's controversial. Some felt it made Vader less mythic, as you can defeat him before a cutscene takes over. Still, his animations and power shine, making it a memorable clash. And there you have it, gaming safe space fans. Every time Darth Vader has graced our screens in video games. From retro arcade classics to modern epics, the Sith Lord has been a boss, a hero, and everything in between. Can you think of any I left out? Which Vader appearance is your favorite? Did you love slashing Wookiees in The Force Unleashed? Or do you prefer his terrifying cameo in Jedi Fallen Order? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to join the Gaming Safe Space community. We've got more gaming goodness coming your way. Until next time, may the Force be with you.